Hello tuber fans. I was on earlier and I looked at Bill's video about making molds, and I commented on how to successfully do a mold release without your molds getting destroyed. There are several ways around it you can do. Excuse the orcs. There's several ways you can go around it, but it also depends on your medium. Now let me explain what mediums are, okay? Mediums are the source of what you're going to be using to make your molds, i.e. casting resin. Okay, it's always good stuff. However, do it in a very well ventilated area, okay? If you're going to be using plaster, for example, and I have some down here. See? Plaster of Paris. Yet again, with plaster of Paris, if you're using super sculpted, be very careful about the ambient temperature, because plaster of Paris will heat up depending upon the plaster to water mix. If it's too much of a mix, it will actually cook the plaster of Paris. The plaster of Paris will actually cook the super sculpey. I've actually done that before. It's like Bondo, and I know a lot of people that actually want to do regular molds actually have used Bondo before in the past. It's not a smart idea, it's not a bright idea, because you have to do it in a very well ventilated area. Another one is you've got your plasters. So your other medium, of course, is metal, which is pewter. I had a great big chunk of pewter here, but this is what you mean by a metal miniature, okay? Now, with metal miniatures, don't use super sculpty or plasticine, because it will just melt. When it comes to these types of mold, there will be I'll put a link in this video description at the bottom for a website that will show you how to use the right medium for the right mold to get you the perfect job for what you want, okay? Yet again, some people use green stuff, you know, it's a two-part mold epoxy to make their molds, and then they just press mold. Now, another thing, if you're trying to copy a previous existing sculpture, for example, like a demon prince, or an orc war boss, or for example a Terminator's arm, okay? If you're trying to do it as in like a terrain piece, like a Terminator lost his arm on the battlefield, I will use plasticine, as you can see, that's all it is. Now, to get your mold out, to make sure that it gets out properly, I use baby powder, okay? That's all you do. Take some baby powder, and you're probably hearing a cat in the background, that's my wife's new cat. You take your baby powder, and then you just cover the area, like so, and then you just press it in, like so. And then this is the fun bit. What you can do, this is a bit of slag metal, but you pop it in and like that, just like that. No pokes, no prods, no nothing, and you have a perfect mold. Shake off your excess, and there you go. Perfect mold every time, every time. So you can reuse, for example, plasticine if you're going cheap, or if you're going to be using a medium like resin. Now, resin will heat up depending upon your catalyst. This is your catalyst. A catalyst is the chemical reactant that causes the resin to cure, to go hard. For example, resin skulls. Everyone keeps asking me how I keep doing my large resin skulls, like this one. This is a mold that comes in a two-piece. I want to say it's Perfect Mold Putty or something like that. I did a video on it previously, down below. I'll probably put a hot link to that shit as well in this video. But I know my desk's filthy. But that's just what I do to get whatever you need. Now, if you're trying to make a three-dimensional item, for example, like the complete Demon Prince's hand, like you want to do a press mold. This is for a Dreadnought Power Fist. I was doing a Orc Killer Can, and I was going to replace it, draw the Space Marine Power Fist. And literally, you'll do a press mold like this, which is you'll put half the model in one side, another half in the other, okay? And you hold it together. You'll make a pour channel, okay? Then you take some cardboard, and you'll make a small little miniature cardboard box for it to go in. Now the bottom, well, if the mold's good enough, it won't leak, but sometimes I'll always put an extra bit of cardboard down there, a couple of rubber bands, mix up your resin. Now resin comes in different viscosities, and what that means is the actual chemical thickness of the actual chemical thickness of the resin itself. Some will be thick like a syrup, and some will be thin like water. The website I'll be linking down below will have different viscosity resins and different viscosity plasters that you can use. Also, you can use dental plaster. I know a lot of people use them with Hearst Arts molds. I'm actually waiting for a Hearst Arts mold delivery to come to me. I ordered a couple of molds for to finish off my Titan and whatnot. And the best thing about baby powder is your item that you've got covered in baby powder, just wash it under the tap. Baby powder just washes right off. It won't etch, it won't damage, it won't do nothing to the actual original piece. So you can constantly keep making remolds of the same model over and over and over and over and over again. I said earlier you could tell different depending on your different mediums. This is a heavy bolter, of course, as you can see, made out of resin using plasticine. See, all I did was take a normal heavy bolter from the Imperial Guard heavy weapons tank, pressed it in, poured my resin, made a couple of molds. Now if you're also good enough, you can squish out your molding medium. This is a mold medium, okay, and then you can take your heavy bolter and make repeated molds, and then pour the resin over it. Pour the resin over it completely, and then mold more than one heavy bolter at a time. But that's the video I was going to use to explain the differences between the different mediums that you can use. Okay, guys, and as always, make sure you do this in a safe environment. If you're under the age of 18, make sure you do it with a parent or a guardian, because I don't want to be held responsible if you're getting high as a kite or killing yourself. So as always, guys, have fun. Remember, peace and love and respect. See you all guys on the far side. Take care. Bye bye. See ya.